that the field of nutrigenomic personalized lifestyle medicine has quite literally exploded in the last 5 years. When there was a market for one or two tests, today we have a lot of competitors with nutrigenomic analysis. Some differences in genetic analysis today from lab to lab can be different SNPs that are being evaluated, the comprehensive panels that are being evaluated, the type of information or the way the report is delivered. These are all some of the differentiators. Most of the SNP analysis that are out there today are looking at different SNPs. So you want to assess what type of program is best for you. One of the reasons why I feel that GeneSNP DNA analysis is the better program for the practitioner is because it is a very full, it's what I would consider a full spectrum genetic analysis. It does not look at every gene. It does not unravel the entire genome. It is a select group of 61 promoter genes. I mention promoter genes because that's important, because these are the genes that control the rest of the gene alleles. This is the promoter gene is the one that has a control factor over all of those other genetic markers that you may see if you were to unravel the entire genome. So first and foremost, I believe that we're looking at some of the more important SNPs that are the promoter or controller SNPs. Second to that, we're looking at genomic analysis or genes and their gene variations in different aspects of health, in particular primary care. So we're looking at cardiovascular SNPs. We're looking at obesity SNPs. We're looking at SNPs that have an impact on endocrine factors, not just blood sugar factors like many genetic analysis out there, but also giving us insight into prostatic health, into ovarian health, into mental emotional health. So there's a component of neuroendocrine information that we're getting through the GeneSNP DNA analysis. In addition to that, there are 22 gene variants that look at obesity, but each one of those obesity SNPs will give you insight into different points of intervention for obesity. One thing that really sets DNA GeneSNP analysis or the DNA analysis apart is the fact that we also paired the patient guide, which is easy to read for the patient, easy to read for the practitioner. This is the report that comes from the lab. We paired that with a health practitioner guide that is meant to be used just by the practitioner, but gives more clinical insights. This, I would tell you, is quite novel in this industry. Most of the nutrigenomic analysis competitors do give you a report, but are somewhat limited in the type of information that they can give, because today GeneSNP analysis or nutrigenomic analysis, to talk about the entire field, is not one that is considered a diagnostic tool. While the labs that perform nutrigenomic analysis are CLIA certified labs, and the same types of labs that give us diagnostic quality analysis, nutrigenomic analyses today are not considered diagnostic. They simply give us insight into gene behavior or gene environment and give practitioners the ability to look into gene environment and make a decision about how to prioritize patient care, how to kind of reveal aspects of patient care that cannot be revealed on standard blood work, because we're looking at the genes or the hand that we were dealt. So that's one of the things that I think sets GeneSNP DNA analysis apart, is that we took a patient report that can't be diagnostic and we paired it with information for the practitioner that can help them make a diagnosis. One of the other things that sets the DNA genetic analysis or our GeneSNP DNA analysis apart from our competitors is pairing this information, this clinical information in the patient report, with products. That is something that many of our competitors, again, still leave up to the practitioner to come up with. Now, while our GeneSNP DNA analysis product compendium doesn't dictate what you give, it does give the practitioner insight into prioritizing supplements or ingredients that may change the way genes behave. Genes that are behaving suboptimally, we can turn down if we know what types of ingredients can be paired with other ingredients to change the gene environment, and what amount should we be recommending these nutrients so that we can change gene behavior or the gene environment. That's something that's very different or very special with the GeneSNP DNA analysis that we're offering, is looking at all different facets of how are you going to deliver this information to the patient? How are you going to follow up with an action plan with the patient? And so we wanted to make sure that we did all of that. Didn't just give you a GeneSNP report that would tell you what gene alleles or results your patient has, but also say this is what it means clinically beyond the patient report, so that you have some information to help you make a good decision or assess the needs of your patient, and then move that into an actionable plan. Take that report of findings and then give a recommendation, a treatment protocol, if you will, for the patient. And also give you the ability to have touch points with your patient in the future as it relates to the GeneSNP results. Are people, when they come back, are they better, worse, the same? Are there different things that we need to tweak? Do we need to take something else into consideration beyond the nutrigenomic analysis? Do we now need to have a different conversation with our patients about the importance of sleep, the importance of food choices? This is very much a test, don't guess solution where patients have a tangible result in their hands to make lifestyle changes. But it's very much at the direction of their healthcare practitioner to make those changes. So we believe it's also very motivating to have the test result, but also very easy to implement for the practitioner because they also have a lot of the clinical research behind the way these genes behave. Cost is always something that comes up when you look at competitors, when you look at why you would choose one analysis over another. And this is why we see some practitioners using laboratories that are running a test for one gene polymorphism. The MTHFR gene is a very popular gene. Another methylation gene that we also test for, but other labs may test for, is something called the COMT gene variant. In methylation pathways, in measurement of behavior, cognitive function, age management, detoxification, risk factors for what are referred to in the industry as methylation defects. These are things that are not just common in the integrative practitioner's mindset, but also are well recognized in the industry of evidence-based medicine today, and why we want to identify these factors. Well, they're found in other labs, but they are at a cost which, if you were to add them all up, would exceed the cost of GeneSNP DNA analysis today. What I put forth is that GeneSNP DNA analysis looks at 48 different genes and 61 different gene polymorphisms. That's important because not only do we look at the MTHFR variant, not only do we look at the COMT variant, but we look at 59 other gene variants that can give a practitioner insight, not just into those methylation pathways, but other cofactors associated with methylation pathways, and then share that information with an interpretation guide that can help the practitioner that is, quite frankly, not well educated, that has not had the opportunity to go to a bunch of lectures on genetic analysis today, and in a very snapshot type of easy to consume type of report, give that information to the practitioner and allow them to easily dialogue with their patient about these, again, what I'll use is this actionable steps that they can take. Those are some of the things that really set it apart. In summary, I would say this: GeneSNP DNA analysis is very relevant today. Behavior medicine, lifestyle medicine, personalized medicine, these are all things that practitioners of all different disciplines are starting to focus on. The amount of time that it takes to learn this new science or this integrative science can be fantastic for many. What we've been able to do with GeneSNP DNA analysis is take a full spectrum of gene polymorphisms that are related to common pathways that we see every day in our practice, take a easy to consume patient report, take those results and transfer them to an interpretation guide, and give the practitioner easy to use information, easy to consume information, and easy to dialogue with their patient, easy to make a treatment protocol, but then also have at a very affordable price to the patient for 61 polymorphisms, have something that is easy to follow up on and make a decision about where they're going to put their commitment towards supplementation. I would maintain where your commitment lies, that we can get a greater commitment from patients and adherence to treatment protocols, not just supplement protocols, but sleep protocols, weight management protocols, dietary protocols, exercise protocols, when we're able to show them tangible results, and that's what GeneSNP DNA analysis does.